Hello and happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to this week's angel reading. I'm Rachel Skoltok, of course, and if you haven't joined before, I am an angel medium, which means I connect with angels for healing purposes, for guidance messages for you. And I've been doing it for a really long time, about 15 or 16 years. So today I'm starting a little bit earlier because I've got an exciting day ahead. I've got a photo shoot today, so I'm going off to have my hair done, and I'm going off to have my makeup done, and then I've got a photographer coming and is going to do some new profile pictures for my website and my book and all the other things that I have done. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm really excited about today because there's a new energy has sort of boosted in quite unexpectedly, I feel, but obviously not for those in the know, not for spirit. Hi Lauren, welcome. So this new energy is definitely a Kali related energy, and you would have seen the card this morning on my Instagram feed. If you don't already follow me, it's at Rachel Skoltok. And the Kali card indicates that we're all together going through this big shift where we're having to face things that have been causing problems in our lives. So the way that I see it is sometimes it's an old pattern that you can't let go of, but also it's a very it can be a very healing period for you. So whilst it can be confronting, it can also be incredibly healing. So my message to you is, if there are things coming up for you at the moment, whether it's you're getting an increase in fear or anxiety or feelings of stress or depression or feelings about, you know, things that have happened in the past, and it seems to be re-emerging and you think, oh my God, I thought I'd done with that. Hi, Leanne. If that's coming up for you, then rather than resist it and do the, oh, I've got to think positive, I've got to, you know, try to immediately move away from this feeling, is to ask yourself, what is it, you know, what is this showing me? And to call on your angels, Kali Ma, the deity of life and death, and call on the divine spirit and ask that you are shown the healing path. Because sometimes when we can't let go of something that's been difficult, it's because there's some more healing to do about it. So it doesn't mean that you're in the wrong, that you've, you know, somehow done the wrong thing and you haven't let go of it properly. It can actually mean that there is another level of healing for you to do on it. And so if you go within and ask spirit and angels to show you the path forward, and you might not in the first instance, hi Kathleen, in the first instance, you might not see exactly why this has come up, but you might, if you're open, be shown how to heal it. And that's why I always say that if you're stuck with something, asking why and where did this first start and what's the problem is sometimes, you know, it goes counterintuitive. It goes against what it is that you really want. It's better to ask, how can I heal from this? Because that's a more proactive energy. That's a more power-inducing question that you can ask of spirit, because spirit might not be able to give you all of the answers as to why this thing happened or why you're feeling the way you're doing. Hi Sarah. The spirit might not be able to show it to you because it might be, you know, like a you know, those house of cards. There might be many different elements in your life or in presently or in the past that led to that situation. And so to just say it's got to be one thing, and when I find that one thing, I'm going to pull it out like a weed out of my garden and then I'm going to be fixed, is denying what your soul and spirit has been through, not just this lifetime, but many lifetimes. So rather than asking why and what is the problem and who and what, how can I get rid of this, ask how can I heal from this, and this will put the power back firmly in your hands. So Sarah says she's been letting the feelings wash through her and it's passing. So that's really great, Sarah, well done, because that's the thing. If we resist our healing, if we resist what's coming up and we don't go with it, then sometimes we actually push it back down and it has to rise again in the next cycle, and it can create more suffering and last a bit longer. So whilst I still want you to move forward with your life, you know, there's no need to sort of feel like when you're healing that you can't actually do wonderful things for yourself and for your life purpose and create abundance. Everything doesn't have to stop, but sometimes it does. Sometimes you need to rest and retreat, but you can still create at the same time as doing your healing, and that's actually really positive and powerful, because I don't know about you, but I love following people on social media and in life who are real, who I feel are authentic. They're not putting on a front. And I think if we put on a front of being, you know, I'm fine, I'm fine, you know, and then we feel like when we're going through something, we can't go forward, because, you know, so many people who are healers, you know, I train healers, that's part of the work I do. People who are healers say, I've got to get my life sorted first before I go into a healer. Now, of course, if you're living under a bridge and you haven't got, you know, the funds to set up a business, then yeah, there's probably things you need to sort out. If you're in the middle of a major family drama, or you've just lost someone close to you, there are things that you need to do to tend to as a priority before you move forward with your life purpose. But when you're in the building period, when you're still healing but you want to move forward, you can do that. And no healer on this planet is 100% healed. No, you know, no coach, no person that's out there telling you how to do things. They're experts, many of them, on what it is they're teaching, but that doesn't mean that they can't have struggles underneath the surface. And you're the same. You can still create at the same time as you're doing your healing, and it's almost important sometimes, because, you know, you can sort of stagnate a bit if you're just focusing on healing, and that doesn't necessarily fit with health healing. You know, sometimes you've got to tend to your health, you've got to do that first, and then you can do all the other things. But you can still put out your dreams to the angels. In fact, that's an affirmation of you trust that you have faith that you're going to heal. Because if you're asking for the things that you want after the healing without stressing yourself about it, you are creating a path that is going to be on the other side, the light on the other side of the tunnel, right? It's the thing that you're manifesting. You're showing the universe and the angels faith and trust that you know you're going to be healed, healthy, and whole. So there's a fine balance you can see where you have to stay in touch with your body, your intuition, and your desires and goals. You stay grounded, because if you get disconnected from that, you can wear yourself out, you can burn out, you can sort of stress your energies. But that's what I was saying, is that I really love to connect with people who inspire me, and the people that are real about themselves. And that, you know, it's authentic. It makes you feel like, oh yes, you know, they've been through something. It's okay for me to go through something. Because I think one of the things we've really got to be vigilant about in today's world is that social media is the pressure to make everything look perfect. And that somehow, if we're not fitting into all of those ideals, you know, make 7 figures in a year, or, you know, have the perfect body, all of those things. But there are other things that are on a more subtle level that we feel guilty about. We can feel guilty about if we're not creating. Like for me, I have real stress about my forehead, because when I watch TV nowadays or movies, nobody has mostly has natural wrinkles. They're all having treatments and facelifts and Botox and things like that. Nothing wrong with that if that's what they want to do. But it creates an image of non-reality. And if you choose not to do those things, then it can make you feel inadequate. So, you know, we all have our things that we struggle with, and we all have to find a way of connecting. So who else has come on? Natalie, hi, and Petra, hi there. Adrian, Mark, Anne, Tracy, and Stacey, thanks for joining. I know it's a little bit earlier this morning, but I've got an exciting day ahead of me today. So I wanted to pull you some cards, but I wanted to bring up that mention of the Kali card that came through on, I put it on Instagram and Facebook this morning, which is indicating the big energy that we're facing at the moment. So there's stuff coming up for us. Strong dreams. Now, if you're dreaming about people or situations that have long gone, there's a chance that you are corded to them. And when you're corded to someone or something, those cords are not only draining your energy, they're keeping you like an anchor pulled into that situation still. And what I found with the people I'm working with in my Rich Radiant Angel program is that we're working on abundance, we're working on healing, we're working on creating their vision, as well as moving the blocks and barriers that are in the way of creating those things. And cord cutting is one of the most powerful things you can do, because if you're corded to someone, you're giving your power away to them. Your energy is going to them, and so is your power. And so you're not giving the correct amount of power to the divine source to help you to fix. So you imagine if your energy has got many hose pipes in it and they're all going off to different areas, or maybe there's one thick one going off to a situation in your past where it's affected your thoughts about yourself, your thoughts about the universe, how good life can be, you know, these pivotal traumatic situations that sit in our energy. If you're still corded to that, mentally, energetically, and spiritually, your energy is still stuck in that thought, that idea, that belief. And so with angels and spirit, it's going to sort of dismantle some of your faith. It's going to corrupt what you're trying to do. So you've always got that sabotaging energy, that cord pulling you back. And so the dreams that we're having, or finding ourselves mentally going back to things, is a sign that you're still corded to something, and you need to ask your angels to cut those cords, sever those cords, and be willing to release it, because it's part of this energy of pulling you away from your dreams, pulling you away from what you want to create. It's really important. When you don't do that, everything seems harder. It feels like you're running, you know, up an escalator the wrong way, and it can feel as if you just get pipped at the post all the time. You never quite get where you want, or you find yourself sabotaging yourself with your thoughts. Everyone's got a thought or a belief inside of them that is their lowest possible ebb, and it's the thought or belief that it's like their default. So whenever you're down, when you're low, when you go through something, there'll be 2 or 3 thoughts that you go to. You know, it might be, I'm not good enough, nobody loves me, this always happens to me, people are against me, whatever it is. And those thoughts and beliefs are your default ones. They're the ones that make you feel comfortable, because even though they make you unhappy, it's a comfort zone. And when you go to those thoughts all the time, that is what's in charge of your vibration. And so sometimes we get comfortably uncomfortable with those thoughts and beliefs, to the point where we know we don't want them, and we know that they're sabotaging us. But when we start to experience something different, it feels out of that comfort zone, and then we almost self-sabotage to bring ourselves back to that level. So we have to be really vigilant with our self-awareness and getting awareness of, oh, here I go, I'm thinking those thoughts again. And those thoughts aren't real, they're not true, they're fears. And I pretty much can guarantee that whatever you're thinking, there are other people who think the same thing as you, because they're like dust particles in the air. You know, anyone can grab hold of those thoughts, and the human experience isn't that different, even though we can all have very different upbringings and different countries and things like that. But because those thoughts belong to a negative entity, if you like, that we all plug into when we're not plugged into God and the angels. So hi Ida, hi Anne, Stacey, thanks for coming. So let's pull some more cards for you today and see what the week ahead has in store and what the guidance of the angels is for you. So I'm using Keepers of the Light, Archangel Michael, and I'll see what else I want to use. for your reading today. So I'd say part of your reading is watch your thoughts. Watch your thoughts. And when I say watch your thoughts, become aware. You know, even write down those thoughts that you know are your default thoughts. Because when you're in a good state of mind, you can actually analyze those thoughts and go, actually, they're not real. They're not me. That's not what I want to carry with me this lifetime. That's not who I want to be. And then you're in a really strong place. So I've got lots of hearts coming up. How's everyone feeling? I had some angry faces come up too. So maybe that's Carly, you know, she sweeps through with some pretty powerful energy. And when Carly comes through, it's not a kind of moonlight and rainbows. It's like a tsunami. It really brings things up to help you to see what it is that you really, really need to let go of. And it's almost like she's saying, no more. Time to let this go. If you want to jump across the divide from in pain and suffering and struggle into abundance, love, peace, harmony, you're going to have to change. And these are the things that you're going to have to let go of. That's how Carly works. And then she might even put you on your butt a bit and make you really look at it so that you have to face it. So don't be disturbed if you're having really strong dreams or things are coming up for you. Just recognize, oh good, I'm on track. There's things all of us have to heal. There's things I have to heal. We don't get through life in a vacuum. It's many layered, and we know we're alive because we're working on this stuff, but we have to choose who we're going to be. So beautiful cards for you. So I'm using Keepers of the Light, and this card came up. It's the F word, everybody. Master Jesus, the Ascended Master Jesus. You don't have to be signed up to a religion in order to access the Ascended Master Jesus, the light being who can help us all. And particularly what he helps us with is forgiveness. Forgiving ourselves and forgiving others. And so being able to move through this energy that we're in at the moment means you've got to adopt an attitude of forgiveness. Now, forgiveness is for the giver, forgiver. It's for the giver. So it's for you. But you can't do it with a sort of an attitude of, what am I going to get out of this? You can a little bit because it's motivational. But you have to come from a place of, do I want to dwell in resentment, anger, fear, blame, shame and guilt, because they're all the lowest energies in the scale. You know, their frequencies are dark and heavy. So if you're defaulting to those emotions and those thoughts regularly, there's forgiveness for you to do, and Jesus and Archangel Michael will help you to heal that. And it is a healing. When you're not forgiving, it's a dis-ease of the mind. It's not a, let's say, a natural state of a human being to be unforgiving, to be resentful, to be critical and judgmental. And I usually don't look at my phone on a Sunday because it's my day to recharge, replenish, and to really clear my energy of all the healings I've done and the energy I've put into work, you know, in a working week. So, but yesterday I did open my phone. I had a look on Instagram, and there was a lot of like anger on Instagram, stuff about Michael Jackson, stuff about Oprah, and things about the politics in the US. And before I knew it, I'd gone down the rabbit hole and I was reading some people's comments, and I actually felt like I could vomit. I thought, I am going to vomit. So I turned it off and put it away. And I cleansed my energy, because the sheer amount of anger and resentment that people are posting online, and true, that might be their opinion, it might be their feelings, but they've got to look at why they feel that way. What is triggering them to feel that way? It's not enough to say that person's opinion made me feel angry enough to be nasty. You can't blame other people for how you're feeling. You have to look at, what am I feeling and what's really underneath that. Like, I'm sure a lot of those people are probably just hurt people. A lot of people are just have got anger that they've never expressed from years ago and they've never let go of, and that so they find places to vent it. And you know, online is a pretty safe way, seemingly, but we never hide from this stuff. It comes back at us because what we send out always comes back. So no matter what level, we all go through resentment, we all go through hurt, we all go through terrible things sometimes. We do have to let it go though, and your life will heal when you forgive. It's people hate that word, but it's wonderful. It's powerful. It's one of the most deepest spiritual lessons you can do. So the angels also want you to know that you are safe and protected. This is an Archangel Michael card about protection for you, your home, your loved ones, and your energy. And it's a reminder to protect your energy. When you're going through deep healing or at any time in your life, you really must protect your energy with light. And this isn't about fear. It's not just about keeping the negative energy out. It's about respecting and honoring the temple of your energy field in your body, and recognizing that you are a light being and that you are empathic, and that also for you to be able to do your healing, you need to be able to disconnect from everything and everyone else sometimes. And I do think this is also relating to social media, is you know, it's what you invite into your camera, you know, in your feed, whatever it is, Facebook, email, phone, whatever. It's just like what you let into your house. So would you leave your front door wide open for anyone and everyone to come tromping in with their money boots and their energy? No, you wouldn't. And so you've got to treat your own self like that. Like, I've got to close the door and be a little bit more discerning about what I'm allowing into my life and into my energy and into my thoughts. And so when you're doing your healing, extra layers of protection are really important. But the angels are saying you are safe. You are safe. The next card is letting you know that if you tune in and you listen to your guidance and you follow it without delay, you can trust that you will be guided to do what you need to do, to create what you need to create. And the final card is the Joan of Arc, which I absolutely love. And this is about your authenticity. You know, Joan of Arc stood up for what she believed in, and she was very spiritual. She's very connected to God. She heard God's messages, and she felt silly, you know, or scared that people would attack her, which they did. But she stood up and did what she needed to do. She spoke her truth. And who knows what people were inspired by that at the time. But look, you know, ages later, she's still a part of our knowledge, our reality, our wisdom. We call on her energy to help us to be authentic and tell the truth, and tell the truth to ourselves and also to others. And so I really feel like all of these cards, but these two in particular, are asking you to stay true to your spiritual path, to connect with your sacred self and to God and the angels, and to recognize that when you follow that path and you trust it and you let go of the things that aren't working for you, that your life will work out in wonderful, beautiful ways. You're safe, you're protected. That the more that you connect to that truth, the divine is the source of all of your good, that knowledge, that belief, that affirmation creates the path. It isn't like, what do I believe in? It's almost like when you connect to it, a different path emerges, and you can only connect with it when you believe in it, when it becomes a part of you, when you surrender to that. So, you know, it's a very, very spiritual reading today, and I'll put a picture of those cards up a little bit later, or maybe tomorrow if I don't get carried away with things today. So Adrian says, when he gets a bad thought, he affirms it's just a bad thought and a thought can be changed. That's wonderful, Adrian. Yes, and that sounds like a really powerful way to be aware of what you're thinking, which is the first step. You know, like sometimes we don't even know what we're thinking until much later. It's just we're thinking it. So you've managed to get some distance from your thoughts and recognize them. Hey Susan, hi Debbie, hi Ida, thanks for joining. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about my new online training, which is coming up on the 19th of March. It's my first full online course. So it's 6 lessons, and you will get the lessons live, but if you can't attend, you can also have them recorded. But you become part of this community, this group, where we're working on creating abundance. Now, abundance isn't just money, you know, like I really feel like whatever we're creating to make a contented, happy, peaceful life, where we feel like we're on path and purpose, and we have a deep sacred connection with ourselves, with our angels and guides and God, that is an abundant life. You know what is money or any of the things that we want if we're stressed out and anxious and fearful the whole time? That's not abundance. And I'm really feeling in my own life, I'm tired of the hustle, you know, the sort of the stuff that we see online all the time. It feels a lot of it, not all of it, can be very ego-centered and very, you know, like bustling to try and, you know, be a public figure or to sell 7-figure programs and all that kind of stuff. There's nothing wrong with any of those things, but it's how it affects you. And so I think what's missing for so many of us and so many of you is that how to build that sacred energy into your whole life, whether it's your business, whether it's the art that you do, whether it's your relationships, so that you've got that deep soul connection and that guidance, and that you're constantly feeling that guidance and understanding and knowing it every step of the way. And of course, detoxing and clearing those cords and those energies that are holding you back. So this is what this program is. I've taken a long time to put it together. So it's 6 weeks of lessons, 90-minute lessons with me. And we've got things like a deep energetic and emotional detox with the angels, where I'm clearing you of all the stuff, all the self-sabotage, all the barriers that are holding you back, giving you insights how you can do that for yourself. We're doing connecting to angels and invoking the angels, so that you are able to invite the angels. You don't have to go through me. You can bring the angels into everything that you're doing. And how to do that, where you're not just saying, please angels help me with that, and then moving on. You're doing it on a more conscious level, where they're with you every step of the way. You're creating sacred spaces. So we do these lessons, including how to find out your intuitive archetype and how the angels literally do speak to you, because everyone has a different way of receiving the angelic messages. And some of you are visionary, some of you, you know, you download the information, and until you really are clear on your channel, sometimes it feels a bit jumbled and a bit sort of hit and miss. So we're doing all of that. But I'm also giving with this program 3 private sessions with me, so that not only do you get the program and the small group, but you get one-on-one time to mentor, to work through, to do the healing that's really necessary. Because I've often done online programs, and I've really longed to have private coaching with the person that's owning that does the program. So I've put that into mine because that's what I would want. You also get lots of other bonuses. There's meditations. There is 3 videos about magic, manifesting, and money. There's a copy of my new little ebook, which is Angelic Codes, the angel numbers, and how to understand them and what exactly your angel numbers mean. And I've channeled that. So lots of that is going on. I'm going to be doing a Facebook Live masterclass about all of this, which is going to be free before I do the actual program in the next week or so. I'll set the date for that and let you know about it on my Facebook pages. If you haven't already joined my Rich Radiant Angel Manifesting group, please join. It's a free group. I put a lot more content about manifesting abundance and working with the angels on there. And it's a support to my Rich Radiant programs. So that course is starting on the 19th. I'm only taking 10 people. I'm already selling places. And so if you're interested in that, please get in touch. I'll put a link on this video a little bit later so that you can set up a time to talk to me or email me, and I'll give you all of the details. There's a payment plan as well, and it's going to be a really powerful program. I've set such powerful intentions for this. It's meant to lift you up, and rise you so that you can leave behind all of those things that are not serving you in your personality, in your energy, that you don't even sometimes realize. So we're going to be doing lots of cord cutting as well. So please let me know if you're interested in that. And it's not going to be on sale for long, and obviously we've only got 2 weeks from today before it actually starts. So there's not a lot of time, and I won't be running it again this year. I'm just doing that one, that's it. So if you want to join, please let me know. So I'm wishing you a beautiful day and a beautiful week ahead. Wish me luck for my photo shoot this afternoon. I'm really excited and nervous. I've got a big day ahead of me. So I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you thought of today's reading. Let me know what you're going through at the moment on the posts. And if you're interested in any of my programs, just PM me or email me. That's the easiest way, and someone will get back to you with details. Lots of love. Look out for 333, because that's been a really important part of this shift that we're in right now. Any questions before we go? Hi, Tina and Max. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate you coming early. I'll try to do it about 11:30, but as I said, I've got appointments this morning. Okay, lots of love to you. Mwah.